think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
The comparison, listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been.
He tried. You catch him, he want to catch you back. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, he's not. Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Canelo Alvarez didn't hold back when asked about Terence Crawford stepping up to accept Floyd Mayweather's challenge. Instead of downplaying the idea, he openly admitted that if such a fight happened today, Crawford would most likely come out on top. According to Canelo, Crawford has already reached a level where his timing, technique, and ring intelligence make him incredibly difficult to beat. Canelo went on to say that Crawford isn't just good, he's one of the best in the game right now. He highlighted Crawford's ability to adapt against any opponent, praising his sharpness and discipline inside the ring. To Canelo, those qualities separate Crawford from the rest of the competition and make him a fighter who deserves every ounce of recognition he's been getting. He also pointed out that Crawford has proven himself by conquering multiple weight divisions, which is something only a handful of fighters in history have managed to do successfully. In Canelo's view, that alone secures Crawford's place among boxing's elite. He believes both fans and critics should stop doubting and start acknowledging the legacy Crawford is building. By the end of his remarks, Canelo made it clear Crawford has earned respect not just from him, but across the entire boxing world. His consistency, skill, and determination have already set him apart as a generational talent, and Canelo wants everyone to give him the credit he deserves.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and everything.
Garage Hackett weighed in on Canelo Alvarez's recent remarks about Terence Crawford, offering a thoughtful breakdown of how their careers and timelines intersect with Floyd Mayweather. Hackett reminded fans that Canelo's loss to Mayweather came at just 23 years old, during a stage when he was still learning, developing, and far from the polished fighter he is today. At that point, Canelo had talent, but he hadn't yet gained the deep experience and technical sharpness that later defined his prime. Hackett contrasted that with Crawford's situation, noting that when Crawford shared the ring with Canelo years later, the circumstances were completely different. By then, Canelo had become the centerpiece of boxing, carrying the reputation of one of the sport's most skilled and respected champions. He wasn't the raw prospect anymore. He was a fully established figure, armed with elite skills, discipline, and global recognition. Because of this timing, Hackett argued, Crawford's victory stands out even more. It wasn't a win against a young, inexperienced Canelo. It was a statement made against the best version of him, a mature, world-class champion at the height of his powers. In Hackett's eyes, that difference in context makes Crawford's achievement far more significant than many people might realize. In short, Hackett's perspective highlights just how remarkable Crawford's performance truly was. Beating Canelo at his peak isn't just another win. It's the kind of moment that cements a fighter's legacy and reshapes how history remembers both men.
Heard that what I think is when Floyd beat me, I was 23, I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying, I do give Bud his credit though for beating Canelo, and Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight. So that's why I'm saying it's tough to say that.
Joe Rogan could hardly contain his astonishment when speaking about Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez. To him, it wasn't just another fight. It was an extraordinary display of skill and determination that very few athletes in boxing history have ever matched. Rogan emphasized how unbelievable it was that Crawford, at 37 years old, was able to jump up not just one, but 2 full weight classes and still take on a champion as dominant as Canelo. He explained that age and weight are usually unforgiving in boxing, often slowing fighters down and limiting their power against naturally bigger opponents. Yet Crawford managed to defy those odds, stepping into the ring against one of the sport's strongest champions and coming out on top. For Rogan, this wasn't supposed to happen, at least not at this stage of a fighter's career, and that's exactly why it made the win historic. Rogan described a moment as a defining chapter in Crawford's legacy. It wasn't simply about winning a fight, but about rewriting what is thought to be possible in boxing. To him, Crawford's triumph is a benchmark that will be remembered for generations, the kind of performance that elevates an athlete from greatness to legend in Rogan's eyes. Crawford has proven beyond doubt that he is not just a remarkable fighter, but one of the most resilient and skilled athletes the sport has ever seen. This victory didn't just secure another belt. It secured Crawford's place in history.
It's like you're watching, like, wow. Towards the end, towards the final rounds, it really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like, that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever
against one of the greatest,
greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Yeah. Something special. And
something really
30,
special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah. One of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrecked. I'm like, fuck you. You know, I can barely go bowling.
Pauli Malignaggi added his voice to the heated debate over whether Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford deserves to be called the greater fighter. He pointed out that this kind of argument is part of what keeps boxing alive and exciting, but it's also one that can never truly be settled. In Malignaggi's view, the two legends belonged to different eras, faced different opponents, and carried the weight of unique circumstances that shaped their careers. He explained that trying to measure them side by side is both fascinating and frustrating because the standards of greatness shift with time. For fans and analysts, these comparisons spark endless discussions, but they rarely lead to a final answer. Instead, they highlight just how special both fighters are in their own right. Malignaggi praised Mayweather for his spotless record, unmatched defensive brilliance, and the way he dominated boxing for over a decade without suffering defeat. At the same time, he made sure to credit Crawford for what makes his legacy shine, his ability to climb through weight divisions, adapt to every challenge, and consistently overcome elite-level competition. For Malignaggi, the real beauty lies in the debate itself. Whether one leans toward Mayweather's perfect resume or Crawford's multi-division dominance, the back and forth proves just how rich and layered boxing history is. Even without a definitive answer, the conversation ensures both fighters remain celebrated, fueling the passion that keeps the sport moving forward.
tough 154 pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 54.
Timothy Bradley didn't hold back when giving his take on the endless Mayweather versus Crawford debate. In his eyes, Terence Crawford has all the tools needed to beat even a prime Floyd Mayweather. Bradley broke it down carefully, saying that Crawford combines intelligence, adaptability, punching power, and polished technique in a way that very few fighters in history have managed to achieve. That combination, he argued, would be the exact formula required to break through Mayweather's legendary defense. Bradley highlighted one of Crawford's greatest strengths, his ability to adjust in real time. He explained that while most fighters struggle to figure Mayweather out, Crawford's sharp timing and ability to switch strategies mid-fight could turn the tables. To Bradley, that level of versatility would make Crawford one of the few men capable of pushing Mayweather out of his comfort zone, even during Floyd's peak years. His comments weren't just casual praise. They reflected a deep respect for Crawford's complete skill set. Bradley made it clear that Crawford isn't just another talented fighter. He's the kind of athlete who belongs in the rarest tier of boxing history. In his view, Crawford's mix of ring IQ and fearlessness allows him to stand shoulder to shoulder with the sport's most untouchable legends. For Bradley, the takeaway is simple. Crawford isn't only great for this era. He's built in a way that could have challenged any era. That, in his mind, is what makes the Omaha fighter's legacy so powerful and why the conversations around him will continue for years to come.
The GOAT, oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that backhand. The way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too? No, man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counterpuncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep. I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits harder than him.
Let's see Bivol Bud next, since Bud's so strong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat two undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat. Who's Bivol on Floyd's resume?
And Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6th division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively. and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top three glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced